Mossad Iranvi, he's the permanent representative of Iran to the United Nations, has now issued a letter castigating President Donald Trump's airstrikes on 3 key nuclear facilities in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and I'm quoting from the letter now, condemns and denounces in the strongest possible terms these unprovoked and premeditated acts of aggression. In fact, the Islamic Republic of Iran urgently requests the Security Council to convene an emergency meeting without delay to address this blatant and unlawful act of aggression, to condemn it in the strongest possible terms and take all necessary measures under its charter mandated responsibilities, that the perpetrators of such heinous crimes is fully held accountable and does not go unpunished. Pratik Pine, would you want to come in here? This is Iran asking for help, but look at who they're asking for help from, the United Nations, which in any case, many people believe across the world is a toothless body.
Shreya, first of all, I just wonder if Pakistan wants to stick with their advocacy for a Nobel Prize for Trump or not as of today.
That's a good point.
But yes, but on a larger context, look at it this way. See, this was inevitable. The reason is this. Once Israel took the decision that they want to get inside Iran and strike, that could not have been a decision alone of Israel. It had a tacit approval from Washington. But Israel does have a limitation of capacity. You cannot use a GBU-57 15-ton, bomb on a F-35 or an F-16. You need a B-2 bomber for that, which Israel doesn't have. Now, once they have decided that we want to, defang the nuclear capacity of Iran, if the Americans had not done what they did today, the other option for Israel was, to use the Jericho ballistic or hypersonic missiles armed with a tactical nuclear warhead, given the scenario for taking down Fordo, which would have far more sinister consequence so far as the Middle East is concerned. Now, what happens from here is this. I don't think beyond the token condemnation, which UN is very good at, nobody will do anything. The biggest frustration for Iran is this, that they actually tried to galvanize the whole Islamic world into one. They thought that the Arab states will rise in their favor. Nothing of that sort is happening, because the aerial refueling, which is happening of the on the Arab airspace, the interception of the missiles coming towards Israel, they're all happening on the Arab airspace, which means there are a lot of subterfuges in this conflict. The Arab states equally do not want, the Iran to have a nuclear weapon, and I think they don't mind if the Iranians are cut down to size. They don't want, extermination or annihilation of the civilians. Now, the problem is this: the war does not get over for Israel, neither the war gets over for Iran. For Iran, the problem is this: Iran's Iron Dome was Hezbollah, which has been cut down by Israel. So they had no other option but to go to the next level. The issue is this: what happens next? For regimes like the one which you have in Iran, good or bad, that's another issue, they live with an aura of invincibility. So now it is the compulsion of the Iranian regime to do something spectacular, to show to the world, to at least to their own audience, look, I cannot be bogged down by the Americans. Now that means either an attack somewhere else,
okay,
or the Strait of Hormuz blocking, or the worst fear of the Israelis and the Americans, which is a dirty bomb, which probably will be more extreme. But world war, I don't think right now is going to happen. But next, what happens depends upon the Iranians. If they say, look, I've already taken over my arsenal somewhere else, it is all safe, nothing happens, that means they want to take one step back. So that decision is up to them.
Okay, Pratik, there are some questions on radiation leaks as well, some concerns there. I'll go to Srinjoy on that in just a bit. But just to recap for our viewers what has happened in the last couple of hours. These are the top 10 developments on the biggest story of the day, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a fresh wave of airstrikes by Israel. Iranian media is now reporting that explosions have been heard in Tabriz. The IDF, on the other hand, meanwhile, is saying that Iran's military assets have been struck. Iran, as we've just reported, has called for an urgent meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Iranian missiles have been intercepted over Jordan as well. Why Jordan, ladies and gentlemen? Because right in the middle of Iran and Israel is Jordan. Sirens have gone off there as well. We are also hearing once again from the IDF. IDF is saying that Iran's military assets have attacked have been attacked. The nuclear watchdog, meanwhile, that's the IAEA, is saying that there has been no increase in radiation. That is something that was something that is causing a worry across the world. But the IAEA for the moment is saying they are seeing no increase in radiation in the 3 nuclear sites that have been targeted deep inside Iran. Iran, meanwhile, is claiming that it has executed a quote-unquote Mossad agent. He's been hung to death for spying for Israel. Iran is claiming there has been no nuclear contamination. Yemen, of course, has jumped in as well, a close ally of Iran. They are threatening an attack on the US Navy. Shinja, would you very quickly want to come into this entire nuclear radiation angle? There were some concerns, but the IAEA is dousing those concerns and saying nothing so far.
The Americans would have wargamed this, and the Americans would have practiced this also, probably in some mountain thing. But so far, IAEA has said that there is no radiation. Very good. But we don't know what will happen in the future. We don't know how close IAEA was to the 3 sites. But this is a fear, because there is a possibility of leakage now that 3 nuclear sites have been attacked. And that is something that will worry every country in the neighborhood. So that is something we have to watch out for, because while IAEA has said, yes, there is no contamination, we don't know what it will lead to, what's going to happen again. Also, at this point, IAEA has said no nuclear contamination.
Sure.
But we could see a different result tomorrow.
We'll wait and watch. For the moment, the IAEA is saying no radiation.
Very reassuring.
Iran is saying as well that the United States of America and its strikes have not caused any nuclear contamination. So for the moment, that is where the story stands. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. I'll be back with much more. Do stay with us.